Hi, my name's Zoe Young, and this is my first vlog. I looked up what vlogging means online today because I wasn't 100% certain what exactly it was. I knew I had to record myself talking, but it's, I guess, a video journal. So I'm going to be journaling and talking a little bit about my future career aspirations. So what I'm working on is an equine therapy ranch, and what equine therapy is where you work with people using horses as a therapy. At work today, someone asked me what I wanted to do when I grow up, and I told them equine therapy, and they were really confused. They were wondering why a dog wasn't enough, why I needed a whole ranch dedicated to working with horses, and they just couldn't fathom why I needed to go anywhere past dog therapy. I mean, just like petting a dog, which is totally cool. I love my dogs, and they work wonders when you're sad, and everybody knows that a dog can totally be your best friend. But there's something completely different about horses. So I looked up some stats on equine therapy, to see if maybe she was right, if maybe I was being a little crazy. I know it's an up-and-coming field, but I've never really looked at statistics specifically to prove, that equine therapy affects people. So the first thing that came up, because equine therapy is often used with mentally handicapped and physically handicapped people, in the year 2008, over 40,000 people, like way over 40,000 people, were affected by equine therapy. They saw huge results, and that's over 40,000 people in 2008, and that's before it was becoming more well known. It's growing a ton, and 40,000 people, that's crazy. I mean, that if dogs can do that for you, not that they can't do a lot for you, but let's see. The majority of children that are in equine therapy are between the ages of 6 and 18. And wait, what year was that? Let's see. It doesn't say the year on this one. Maybe it's still 2008. Maybe these are all stats for 2008 because it's growing so rapidly. I can't find any current stats. But around 23,000 children between the ages of 6 and 18 were doing equine therapy. They were riding therapy horses. And also 7,000 adults from the ages of 19 to 50 years of age were using equine therapy. And in addition, approximately 1,600 adults over the age of 50 ride horses for therapeutic purposes. So, I mean, people are being affected by this. It's a big deal. It's growing so rapidly. Especially if you look up, in Utah, there are so many therapeutic ranches. Another thing I wanted to cover today is that, so I was on a plane the other day, and I was talking to this guy, and he was telling me how he worked for Alaska, the airline. And that's totally cool. Rock on for him. He's in a management position, which is, that's really cool. And he was telling me how he went to school to be a pilot. That's what he went to school to be, and that's why he started working for Alaska, because he wanted to be a pilot. And I asked him, I was like, well, why aren't you a pilot? And he was like, well, I just, the economy was bad, and then the market for it wasn't good by the time I graduated college, and so I just didn't apply to be a pilot. And I was like, okay, cool. So do you love your management job? And he's like, yeah, I love it. I love it. And so I was talking to him, and we were talking about this, and I was like, so you're madly in love with your job, but you're super passionate about being a pilot. And he was like, right, but I love my job. And I was like, okay, what are you going to do at work today? And he was like, I'm going to go fill out some reports. And I was like, do you love filling out reports? And he was like, no. And I was like, have you filled out any pilot applications recently? Is the market better? And he's like, yeah, the market's picking up, but I haven't filled out any applications. And so I asked him, I was like, are you settling? Are you settling? Do you want to be a pilot, or do you want to be in a management position over, some regional groups, or do you want to be a pilot? And he was like, well, I want to be a pilot. And I was like, well, then you don't have to quit your job. You don't have to stop being in your management position to fill out applications and turn them in. Because sometimes pilots quit. even if the market's not good, some pilots are gonna quit. They're gonna be done. They're gonna retire, and it happens every year. Pilots retire, but he was scared, and so, we sat there talking, and he started to realize, he was like, I've settled. I didn't even know that I've settled, and I was sad. I was sad for him. I was, and he decided that when he got off the airplane, he was gonna go look into some applications, and he was gonna apply for Alaska because he already worked there. And if that didn't work out, he would apply some other places. He wouldn't quit his job, and he got really excited. And the look on his face, like how he changed in that plane ride, it was amazing. So I was just thinking about my life and the life of my friends, and I don't want any of us to settle. And I think we should all evaluate and think about where we want to be and what we're doing, and decide if we've settled, and if there's anything that we can do to not settle, to rise above settling, to be better than settling. We're better than settling. So that's something to think about. I think this is going to conclude my first ever vlog post. So I'll talk to you again soon.